Good morning, everybody, and a happy Friday morning. Well, you knew this was going to happen. The ITV interview. Once again, this video is so long, I had to break it down into two parts. There is a lot to deconstruct in here, a lot of research. I wanted to make sure that everything I said was absolutely correct. So let's just dive in and get there. And don't forget, this is just part one of it. Let's go. Harry did another interview. A shocker. ITV, not much of another shocker there. There's a lot to deconstruct. But before we talk about Harry, I want to talk about a different person who is part of the interview. His name is Paul Dadge, and this is a perfect example. Now, Paul Dadge was hacked by the News of the World, and he settled his case in 2011. That's right, people, over 13 years ago. And yet he decided to be part of this, this interview, this show about phone hacking. His case is done and dusted. So why did Harry seek this man out to be in his docuseries here? He's trying to get somebody to lend credibility to his case. Now, I'm going to be jumping around a little bit. One of the first things Harry talked about in his interview was there was evidence to suggest that Diana was hacked in the mid-90s. There you go, he's playing the Diana card. Was anybody expecting anything else? We knew he was going to bring Diana up. He brings Diana up in everything, and he said, and I'm quoting, "She's probably one of the first people to be hacked, and yet still today, the tabloid press very much enjoys painting her as being paranoid, but she wasn't paranoid. She was absolutely right of what was happening to her, and she's not around today to find out the truth." The problem is technology today is not like it was back then. There were no mobile phones back then. All they did was hack a landline. Who didn't hear squidgy tape? We all remember that. We all remember Squidgy, when she was caught on the phone talking to somebody. Harry then compared himself to his mother, as usual, and once again insinuated that his mother was hounded to her death by the nasty UK media. The truth of the matter is, as much as it pains me to say it, Diana used the media. She called them and used them just like Meghan Markle does. And there's another problem. Harry has said multiple times through the years that he doesn't really remember his mother. So if he doesn't remember her, and by the way, she didn't pass away when he was 2. He was 12 when she died, but he claims he doesn't remember things. So if you don't remember things, then how do you know she was paranoid? How would you even remember that? Then this woman talks about Harry and the fact that the judge ruled in his favor, and Harry goes, "It's so huge, it was so validating." What this interviewer didn't point out was that Prince William had been hacked 39 times, Catherine had been hacked 155 times, and Harry was hacked 9 times. It's also important for you guys to understand that they actually went into court with 148. Actually, it was 400 and something. It got whittled down to 148. And the judge threw out 115 of Harry's accusations, saying that they were proven to be either public statements he made or something that his comms team said or stuff that he just felt was true. Like, for instance, Chelsea Davy. He said that the media was responsible for the breakup with Chelsea. And the tabloids found out about it through phone hacking, but come to find out, Chelsea changed her Facebook profile to single. Now, let's also keep in mind that while he's in court suing over his privacy, this man put private messages between Meghan and Catherine in the spare. So he's a hypocrite. Now, we're going to move on to the next delusional thing, or one of the other delusional things that Harry said. He said that his fight against the tabloids is really the problem with the rift with the family. It's just because he's fighting the tabloids. Oh my. I shouldn't have to point this out, but I'm going to anyway. Since 2018, Harry has been engaged in assaults against his family to try to subvert and destabilize them and to try to ruin the crown. The royal family has been subject to an absolute torrent of abuse from him and his wife. There was the Oprah interview. There was the Me You Can't See. There was the Meghan and Harry Netflix docuseries. There was Endgame, which everybody knows Harry and Meghan helped with, just like it was proven that they helped with Finding Freedom. How many interviews, how many insults, how many jabs at the royal family have they taken? And yet Harry claims that this is the reason that they're having issues. And then he proceeded to say, you know, it would have been nice if the royal family had joined forces with me to take on, the tabloids. Well, once again, he's trying to rewrite history. Let me give you a little background information. An article appeared in the News of the World in November of 2005 talking about Prince William was in the process of borrowing a portable editing suite from ITV royal correspondent Tom Bradby. So only Tom and Bradby knew the deals of their arrangement. They tried to figure out how they were aware of it, and this is how they found out that their voicemails were being accessed. The police found victims with staff at Clarence House, but also government ministers, military chiefs, footballers, celebrities. They found all of this. An agreement was reached between the News Group newspaper and the royal family where Harry and William would not take legal action for return of an apology, but the apology never came. So both of them brought claims privately through their mutual attorneys. William got an out-of-court settlement, and Harry has been pursuing his case separately with the new solicitor and is now suing the now defunct News of the World and its sister paper, The Sun. Harry actually said that if you're in a public service role, this is something you should be doing for the greater good. Harry would not know a life of service if it bit him in the rump. Okay, you guys, that is the end of part 1. I want to ask you a favor besides hitting the like and the subscribe button. If you have a specific comment about this section, put it here, because otherwise it's going to be too hard for me to keep up with everybody's comments when this has already been split up into 2, if that makes sense. So put your comments about section 1 here on video number 1, and then go into the description box and click the link to part 2 and follow me over. Let's go.